Welcome to Dish Hoop. Anthony Edwards took the NBA by storm. But he's more than a record-setting basketball player who's already being compared to Michael Jordan.
A young 84 Jordan.
Anthony eats the worst diet of any athlete ever, and he's got a car that literally kills people. Those and a lot of other insane things of what you're going to learn about him. But first, Anthony's secret rap career has him beefing with NBA legends.
Yeah, I'm coming, yo, I'm coming. I'm telling you right now, I'm coming.
They must have been mad that Anthony can really spit.
I walk in the mall and I spend all my money, and you know I get it the next day. And I'm never in last, I'm in first place. And I just beat the race like I'm taking cake, and you know they did.
And him rapping on one of Lil Baby's beats ain't even a surprise, because they grew up together. But not only did Lil Baby influence Anthony to start teasing his own songs,
I'm dunking like Dennis, I'm hitting his hoe with the ratchet like tennis, I'm mauling her mouth like a muff.
impressing rappers who eventually had Anthony change his name to King Ant and drop music. Now alright, having bars like that already had fans claiming that he was a top 3 rapper of any NBA player. So not only did that get Anthony extra cocky during an interview, when a reporter brought up how he's a rapper, they also asked Anthony if he thought he was like Damian Lillard. But even though that's kind of high praise, seeing as Damian, aka Dame Dollar, is considered the greatest NBA rapper of all time, Anthony actually clowned the comparison, saying, "Dame and his songs, I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm rapping like Lil Baby, I really can rap." Now clowning like that was crazy. So that's why one of Dame's most legendary teammates even threw some shade.
He said Dame can't rap, basically.
He's better work on that jumper.
But even a rap battle with Dame wouldn't be as crazy as the car Anthony drove to a game that almost killed everybody. The cars in Anthony's collection have always been crazy. I mean, he's had Lambos that were black and blue, he got another one to match the colorway of his shoe, and he even got a lamb that looked like it came out of the movie Tron. But none of those cars were controversial like his newest purchase, because Mans pulled up to a game in a hypebeast mobile. I mean Tesla Cybertruck. Not only did Anthony become one of the first NBA players to get one, it was the most trending vehicle in the world at the time, which wasn't a good thing. Thousands of Cybertrucks were being recalled because of a scary issue.
Let's talk about a recall now on thousands of Tesla Cybertrucks due to a pedal problem.
All the truck's accelerators were broken, meaning they could randomly speed up on their own and crash. So because the truck could kill people at any moment, Anthony was criticized by fans all over X, and even the creatures on Reddit had things to say about Anthony's truck. But speaking of creatures, what if I told you that Anthony's best friend isn't a human? See, when our world got taken over by a pandemic, Anthony was a little lonely, and that's why he wanted a new pet lion. But that was a little too dangerous.
Anthony Edwards Jr., which is just a great
Love the
name.
confidence.
It's awesome. You literally talk to your dog on Instagram. He helps you train. What's going on here?
Now, all right, if you couldn't tell he was Anthony's best friend yet, it was about to get obvious when they'd play basketball together. Anthony would post him everywhere. He got a custom painting of his boy wearing a T-Wolves jersey. They were both featured on bobbleheads. And Anthony Jr. even got his own social media account with more followers than me. But regardless, I think Anthony eventually got bored of having only one best friend, because eventually he got more dogs than I can count. Now, I just hope they don't eat what Anthony does, because dude has the worst diet of any pro athlete ever. And that's something he even admitted himself. He said what he eats every day is the worst diet for a basketball player.
Chester hot fries, the best chips that I ever made. I've been eating them since I was probably like 5 years old. I prefer these over any chips in the world. Probably eat like 3 a day. You do the math. Is that 21 bags? Yeah, I eat that many.
But even though hot fries are good, and I love deep throating them too, Anthony's unhealthy diet got crazier when he brought fast food to an interview. Popeyes started taking over his life after that. He'd walk around in their merch, was always talking about his favorite sauce, and he eventually even started playing basketball with their food.
Yo, Ja, check this out.
Let's run that back.
Anthony's a munch, but not the kind Ice Spice likes, because not only does dude even do interviews in restaurants, his sweet tooth made a bunch of his teammates talk about his junk food addiction.
Well, lie, man. I need some cookies, man. He goes, man, I can't do it without some insomnia cookies tonight. He's like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers gonna be good, boy. Say, let me get cookies and cream ice cream. I said, are you fucking serious right now?
But after Anthony eats all of that, of course, he washes it down with some Sprite. And I can't argue with the results. I mean, can't be having him dunk like this.
Same jam, new style points.
And it's also helped him set such crazy records that they'll never be broken. The first of his 4 unbreakable records got set during a game against the Nuggets.
All night long, this man was hitting 3.
All night long, this man was hitting 3 after 3.
Straight away, he connects.
Side of the bounce. Meet Josh Okogie, or are you playing Jalen Noel? And Chris Finch talks about wanting to play the flow.
For Edwards, Ant will take it on the glass with 8 rebounds. Edwards adds to his total.
That last shot from damn near half court not only helped him secure the win, it was his 10th 3 of the game and made him the youngest player in NBA history to hit that many. But Anthony's second unbreakable record is something that not even Steph Curry could do. Rewinding a few years, Anthony's been on pace to set a record since his first game in the NBA. During his debut, the first shot he ever made was a 3, where this man hit more 3s than I did. Eventually though, Anthony came into a matchup with a total of 496 threes made in his career. And he was looking to become both the youngest and fastest NBA player ever to hit 500. In a game where he knocked down not 1, not 2, but 3 of them, history was about to be made.
Swing it to Edwards for 3. Good! Again!
So that shot not only made Edwards the youngest player ever to hit 500 three-pointers, he also became the quickest player to ever hit that milestone, only taking him 189 games. But this next record Anthony set is something that cemented him as a legend. The record was previously held by arguably the best player in Timberwolves history, Kevin Garnett. This was a man who carried his team to the playoffs. But not only that, he carried the load, no did he, by becoming a point guy. He scored 30 points in 7 different playoff games, which set a franchise record that seemed untouchable until Anthony became a star and eventually got into the playoffs for the first time. He was destined for something legendary. And in just his 3rd playoff series ever, Mans hit this shot to give him 30 points, and it also tied KG in the history books. Obviously that wasn't good enough, so of course Anthony was about to go off again. This time he went off way more than he needed to until he got a game-sealing dunk. And there's a reason he was flashing 4-0 to the bench, because that not only was his 40th point, he set the record for most 30-point playoff games in franchise history, beating KG's record in over 30 fewer games.
He's not watching the game. Wow. Boy, you watching 84. I said 84.
Now, speaking of playoffs, records, and scoring hella points, Anthony wanted to shock the world with one final record. Kinda. Because eventually, he was matching up with the defending champ Denver Nuggets, and many people were counting him out. So not only did Anthony want to use the first game to make a huge statement, he was cooking them so much.
Shot sticks it! Edwards will knock it down court. Look at this, right to the rack!
That he eventually ended the game with 43 points. 43. Once again, he set a Timberwolves record, this time for the most points scored during a playoff game in team history. And the craziest part was, his record didn't even stay for long. Just a few games later, he went even crazier and dropped 44 points, breaking his own record. Damn, this man is a basketball god. But what if I told you he plans on leaving the NBA for another job? Now, I'm not talking about him working as a cashier like me. Your total is $69.69, sir. Anthony wants to stay in sports because he's confident he could go pro in any of them.
How good a baseball player were you?
I could have went to MLB.
MLB?
Yeah.
I am not surprised.
I'm serious though. You think I'm joking? I'm serious.
No, I love your confidence. What positions did you play?
I played pitcher, shortstop, third base, and center field.
Those are the prime positions.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But out of every sport he mentioned, he's always been the best at football.
I played football, basketball, and baseball until probably like 14. I thought I was going to be in the NFL, and then I started getting better at basketball.
Anthony knew he had a chance at making the NFL when he was not only bigger than every kid on the field, this man was a star quarterback and played as the running back where he'd score multiple touchdowns every game. Now, even though Anthony eventually got bored of dominating on the field and switched to killing kids on the court, his love for football followed him all the way into the NBA, where nowadays he warms up for games with football drills and sometimes even shows off that he should become the next quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings.
Look up, put that bitch out now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh my God!
But it wasn't just the NFL GOAT Tom Brady who saw Anthony throw and thought, maybe he should switch sports. Not only do I already know that Justin Jefferson would like that.
Anthony Edwards, what stands out to you most out of this player?
Man, he's crazy. He's crazy athletic, crazy ability to make a move and hit a step back jumper. So I'm excited to see what he got today.
Anthony actually is planning to become the first NBA player ever to go join the NFL.
Do you still feel like you can go play football?
Yeah.
Is it a basketball player that switched and did both?
I think I might be the first one.
You gonna do it?
I'll try.
When?
First, I gotta handle my business in the NBA.
What all you gotta do? Tell us.
I just want to, as a team, Minnesota organization, we want to win a championship.
All right, now that seems like all fun and games, but Anthony might not have a choice. He might actually get kicked out of the NBA because he's already been in so many controversies that it's racked up over $100,000 in fines. Anthony's first scandal happened with a post on Instagram.
Look at these ass niggas, man. Do what the world I came to, bro.
And calling people slurs like that definitely ain't gonna fly in the world today. So that not only had fans upset, the NBA saw. And since they have a strict rule against players using offensive and derogatory language on social media, Anthony was forced to apologize and spanked with a $40,000 fine. But what cost even more was his next controversial incident. Anyways, Anthony's more expensive fine came at the end of a playoff game when he was on the brink of being eliminated. With only a few seconds left, and his squad down by only 3 points, this happened.
Looking for Edwards, finally gets it to him. Edwards launches, no, and Denver survives.
But that miss, loss, and season ending for Anthony wasn't even the worst part. The situation turned into a police investigation. See, when Anthony was running to the locker room, he was seen swinging a metal chair, and that chair hit 2 innocent stadium employees, injuring them. So police cited Edwards for assault. And afterwards, the NBA released a statement saying that for recklessly swinging a chair in frustration that struck 2 bystanders, this time Anthony was fined $50,000. But that fine, combined with his other, is only $90,000. And according to my calculations, we were supposed to get over $100,000. What took it there came during an intense battle between Anthony and another top team in the West. Not only were things instantly getting physical, throughout the game, Anthony didn't feel like he was getting any calls.
Edwards, driving and finishing. They needed to get stops throughout the course of this second half. They've been able to find them. Edwards drives, and Anthony Edwards down the lane and elevates for that huge dunk.
But complaining to the refs, that clearly wasn't helping. So Anthony just helped carry his squad to a win, and after the game, he put those refs on blast.
And this one.
And tonight it was the battle amongst the best in the West. You guys take sole position of #1 in the West. How did you get it done in this environment?
I don't know, and I'm gonna take the fine.
Yeah. Mans knew he was getting fined for that, because tons of players in the past got consequences for repeatedly publicly criticizing the officiating. Pish. So right after, Anthony was also fined $40,000, which means in total fines, Anthony's lost $130,000. All that cash, gone in stupid ways. But I bet you didn't know that Anthony also spends his money in embarrassing ways. Jewelry is something that Anthony's became addicted to buying. After all, the man's worth over $250 million, so he can afford whatever the hell piece he wants. So famous jewelers definitely noticed.
Anthony Edwards is actually wearing one of these. You've probably seen this same chain in the soccer world, the NBA world, the football world. Anthony Edwards here is wearing 2 of the ones that I made for him. It's a color chain. Gold comes in rose gold, white gold, yellow gold.
But none of those pieces, or this, compared to Anthony's favorite chain.
Next up, my 85 chain. The biggest chain that I got, my favorite chain. I think it draws all the attention in the world. Probably too much attention, but I love the chain. I like jewelry, I like chains. Rappers like to wear all the chains, all the watches, 2 watches, bracelets. This is my logo, so I wear it when I'm, having fun with my friends pretty much. That's the only time. I wear it to the game.
And listen, Mans was not capping either. He's always flexing this chain during games, interviews, even while he's shopping for other things. But during an interview is ironically where Edwards revealed an embarrassing secret about his jewelry.
Little one is like some bull for real. It really was fake. It just looked good.
It wasn't fake.
Nah, it was fake.
That's a fake chain you wear? So you was wearing a fake chain in this picture?
Yeah.
Shit. But regardless of his jewelry's fake, at least his plays on the court are real. Because he's pulled off some of the craziest dunks in NBA history.
I just like dunking on people, man.
Well, but then the legs will catch up a little bit.
Anthony Edwards. Laser pass. McDaniels. No. Climbs the ladder to the rim. Escalator style. Edwards. On his head.
Oh my God. And don't get me wrong, all of those were definitely crazy. But those don't even compare to his best dunks ever. There was a time that he embarrassed a legend in the playoffs.
Tennis shoe. Edwards. Edwards. A signature slam. Skywalker Anthony Edwards. He's at another level.
There were also dunks where he damn near jumped over a grown-ass man.
Building can believe it. It's ridiculous. Anthony Edwards just absolutely destroyed Gabe Vincent on that play.
But his Mona Lisa of dunks was so crazy, it nearly put himself in the hospital.
And only had 1 shot attempt in that first half. Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it.
Injuring himself for a highlight is insane. Why does this man go so hard? Oh yeah, it's all cause of the number 5 that he wears on his jersey. And it turns out the secret behind why he chose it is cause multiple people died. The tragedy that happened to Anthony is actually only part of the reason number 5 is so important to him. It's followed him everywhere, like in 2001 when he was born on April 5th. But that wasn't going to be the only 5th day of the month that became significant to him, because even though his mom Yvette raised him and was supporting him in sports as his biggest, as perfect as things were, everything was about to change. In 2015, Anthony's mom was diagnosed with cancer, and not long after, she was rushed to the hospital. Suddenly, her breathing started to slow down, and on the 5th day of the month, she passed away. And if that wasn't hard enough, Anthony's grandma wasn't doing well either. She was also suffering from cancer, where her health also kept getting worse. And as time went on, just a few months after Anthony's mom's tragedy, on the 5th day of a new month, now his grandma passed away. Now, as tragic as everything was, those 5th days weren't something Anthony wanted to forget.
15, I lost my mom and my grandma. It wasn't easy, so I just kept playing basketball. Like, me and my brother told each other we weren't gonna stop playing basketball because of it, because we know that if they were still here, they would want us to keep playing. So I just channeled all my energy towards basketball, stopped worrying about everything else.
How tough a time was that for you, especially being so young, trying to understand this all?
But with a teammate already wearing number 5, Anthony was temporarily forced to choose a new number. Wearing the number 1 definitely didn't stop him from becoming a star. But Anthony always wanted to wear his favorite number instead. So after a mural was painted in his hometown honoring him, his mom and his grandma, it was time for him to make a change.
We're here because I want to tell the Wolves fans that I'm switching from number 1 to number 5 this year. Finally got the chance of making a change. I was hoping my teammate Malik Beasley would let me, but he didn't want to come up off of it, so I had to choose one.
But out of everything Anthony went through, none of it's as crazy as this NBA player who survived a nuclear explosion. As you can see, there's insane things you never knew about Yogi. He's also got addictions, a zesty nickname you don't want the world knowing about, and a secret ritual he